Well, hey, good afternoon. At least for me it is. Hey, start off with a question. Do you ever walk into a party maybe 5 minutes after it started and everyone's jumping up and down and talking about something that happened just before you got there? Or maybe you were watching a game with a bunch of friends. You ran out to get a beer, maybe go to the bathroom, and you come back and they're all telling you about this awesome play that they saw and they can't believe you missed it because you weren't in the room to witness it. You know, when you go back and read this passage of how we got the name Doubting Thomas and the phrase seeing is believing, can you blame the guy? I mean, can you really blame him for walking in a couple minutes after Jesus leaves and everyone's telling him, you should have seen what you just missed, Thomas? You know, you can't blame the guy. And in reading this, there's so many different directions. I guess a lot of preachers go, a lot of people that interpret the Bible, a lot of people that say they know what they're talking about, and I guess they're all right. You know, all about doubt and how we should believe without having to see, and I buy into all that. But there's one part of this that, for me at least, it just grabs me. And it's where Thomas, and if you haven't read this and you just skipped right to see yours truly, and there ain't a whole lot to look at, let's face it, go back and just read the passage that's above this. Right after Thomas sticks his fingers in the side of Jesus, he looks at him and he says, "My Lord, my God." You know, for me, that message is so profound and so almost overwhelming that the whole story of this Doubting Thomas, I think, boils down to that. And we played, or at least if you heard, the song from U2 where they're singing about, they still haven't found what they're looking for. No matter where they looked or what they did or what they saw or what they conquered, they were still looking. And I think it's reassuring, at least, in that we don't have to search anymore. Who knows? Maybe Thomas was out looking for Jesus. I heard that in church today, that a possibility of, Thomas could have been anywhere. Maybe he was out buying another case for the guys. Who knows? But one of the possibilities is maybe he was out searching for Jesus while the other ones were sitting locked in this room. Maybe the guy got a bad rap. Who knows? But I think if you look at the lyrics from the song from U2, you come to understand that, I think we're all searching. We all want to belong. We all have that, I guess, psychologists and sociologists and psychologists and all the other ists say one of our needs is that we have a need to belong. Certainly child psychologists will tell you that. Kids have a need to belong. They have this desire to belong to something. And if there was ever a phrase that made more sense, at least for me, it's when Thomas looks up at Jesus and says, "My Lord, my God." And that, to me at least, sends it home, because we're always asking, who are we? What's my role? Where do I belong? And maybe instead of asking, who are we? Maybe if we just switched one word in that and said, whose are we? We're so concerned about who we are and finding things like U2 was looking for and trying to fit in and trying to belong. Maybe we belong already. And if we just switch who are we to a question, whose are we? I think it makes a lot of sense when Thomas looked up at Jesus and said, "My Lord, my God." That he was there was some ownership. He's my God. He's my Lord. And what a reassuring statement. Look at these bees. Wow. This ought to be fun. What a reassuring statement that, we do belong. We belong to God. We are God's children. And if nothing else, this story really, for me at least, sends home that message that when I question, when I doubt, when I start searching all over for answers, if I just take a step back, take a deep breath and go, all right, I belong to this guy and he's going to take care of me. It just makes it a lot easier for me. Before I found the U2 song, I was thinking, the perfect song for this message about who we are and whose we are would be the song from The Who. Who are you? And if you've ever listened to the lyrics of that song or played it, you understand I searched all over to find the radio edit version because it drops the F-bomb about halfway through the song, and I didn't think that was appropriate. But I wanted to play it not just for the who are you over and over again, but listen to what one of the lyrics is. This is from The Who, crazy rock and roll band, guys just partying their butt off. It says, I know there's a place you walked where love falls from the trees. My heart is like a broken cup. I only fell right on my knees. I spit out like a sewer hole, yet still receive your kiss. How can I measure up to anyone now after such a love as this? I think that sums it up. We are loved and we belong. So maybe this week, instead of asking who we are, all we have to do is stop and think about whose we are. Maybe that'll make the problems that we face, the troubles, the anxiety, the fears that we have, maybe it'll make it just a little easier. I hope so. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next time.